Oke, kita coba ini game Sherlock Holmes The Awaken. Gua dapet, tapi gua nggak tahu nih gamenya kayak gimana, jadi ya kita lihat aja dulu ya. Bentar. Buset. Oh, custom. Wah, nggak deh, gue mending gini aja deh, cari aman deh. Tapi kalau picking bisa lah. Nah, gini aja deh. Aku masih coba-coba ya, nggak tahu nih game dapet, jadi pengen tahu kayak enggaknya. Price limit kayaknya di off aja ya. Kingston highest, epic iyalah pakai ini shadow aja. Ya tidak tutorial lah. Lah udah selesai loadingnya. Udah guys merah. Oh.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
Ini track saya tombol klik kiri. Gimana kalau kita tidur?
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
Ada bisa pakai topi gitu ya. Oke. Nah. Oh, bisa bikin kumis tuh. Oh gini. Oke. Ini skill atau apaan ini? Stutteringnya banget. Maaf ini kemana ya? Bentar.
Baru mandi.
Loh.
Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty. If you come across one of my drafts, please leave it in the bin.
Dustbin. Oh.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness. Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you?
Get your copy of the
perhaps
Strand here.
from Cordona.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
Any breaking news today?
The dog accident. It's the talk of the town.
Halo, Kiki, sorry.
Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
And tell me,
pakai mod
did you notice anyone
Mario.
suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely.
Bentar.
What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Cool, now I can take the day off.
which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. if you have more shillings. Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
How about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this?
Get your copy of the strand here.
Hardisk kemana ya?
Why go through all this
Get the
scheme to murder
strand.
you?
Get your
A
copy of
spine
the
stuck
strand
to the
here.
newspaper is hardly lethal.
Adanya Redfield. Halo. Apa di sini ya?
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
I'll stand watch, just in case the strange man comes back.
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can
Get the
always buy
strand.
another.
Bingung ini. Bentar. Ini kan hilang.
Get your copy of the strand here.
Mesti nyariin gitu. Ini.
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Lah. Masih mikir ya. Si dua ya.
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks,
That's
but he
cool.
also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Oh. Oke. Nah, bookshopnya di mana nih?
Can I ask you a question?
I'm really sorry, but I can't help you. Try asking someone else.
Help me, please.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Coba.
Are you able to help me? Sorry, sir, I can't help you. Is this familiar to you?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Can I ask you a question? I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Why don't you give me another shilling now? Because I'm sure I'll spot something else soon. No?
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes? How can you be so sure?
On rare occasions, Watson, it can suffice to trust one's gut.
Udah. Hmm.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Ah, for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood. I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. The finest view London has to offer. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think. I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin? The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
Alamak.
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
Lagi ya. Bukan.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Gue mute dulu deh.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
The weather is dreary, isn't it?
Hello
To
there.
be fair, my flat
What's your
is
name?
the rain. Lily. I know, not very original.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Help me, please.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Is this familiar to you?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Can I ask you a question?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. The best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper. Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
it's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come. Not much further now.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint. Why are you still here?
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Chewing tobacco. Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. A small Navy spyglass. No air coming through it. Button chops. The remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold. Heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. No air coming through it. No air coming through it.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed? You think you know someone?
Where on earth are you going with this? Where on earth are you going with this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent. I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimahir and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes. If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
could have left these tracks? They seem fresh. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
This dreary rain is making a miserable day even worse.
Yes, Denwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahia's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it. Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
This disappearance is intriguing, though. I cannot make head nor tail of it.
No air coming through it. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
A scrap of Hessian.
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Chewing tobacco.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. Is this a taniwha, a Maori water spirit, or something else? someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden. Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know? Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Oke, balik. Ntar tabok nih orang. Si nyampetin itu doang ya. Ada nambah lagi. Ntar ya, ini unpin dulu. Pin. Tadi lagi macam kasus pembunuhan. Sekarang ceritanya tuh tadi minta tolong dicari servantnya, pembantunya tuh diculik kemana gitu. Itu doang, cuman ya nyarinya harus detail. Ntar ya. Banyak banget. Masih dipecahin dulu lagi. Kali. Tunggu, kalau misalkan bacain ini kan dia minta meledak ya. Ini kalau kita nggak selesaiin ini kita nggak semaju nih, pusing kan? Ini coba. Birunya apa, cuing? Kan? Loh, kayak males selalu mikir. Sumpah lama gue baca lagi deh nih. Padahal gue nggak pakai cheat. Oh ini beginiin. Personal table features of doctor. Kan sama ini spyglass sama footprint ya. Enggak ini. Enggak. Holy, ini udah bener berarti 2 ya. Satu lagi ya. Ini. Ini berarti kalau satu itu udah bener biasanya sih. Jadi tinggal satu lagi. Cuman yang mana apa yang kurang? Gue bingung. Nah, ini apa? Oh, nggak bisa. Biru, aduh. Loh. Pusing gua. Bentar, nyontek lagi deh. Oke, susah banget ya. Retreat strand berapa sailor dan wallet. Wah anjir, ini nggak ada sih. Bentar, apa harus gue buka dulu ya baru nanti bisa dapat lagi. Oke. Sih nggak mungkin, berarti kita ke ujung ya. Habis ini chapter ini selesai gue udahan dulu, gue juga udah puyeng selalu mikir jam segini. Ini dia nggak bisa di highlight kita. Bentar, trail mana nih? Bisa nyebrang nggak? Nggak bisa. Wah, justru mikir ini. Tetangga nggak mungkin. Dogi. Apakah bisa masuk? Tidak bisa. Sampai kan trailernya sampai sini.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone?
Ini. Enggak. Lakuin. Sebentar. Kira bisa baca guide beneran. Gue bingung. Saya cari kartnya dulu. Oh ini, nggak tahu ah. Kartnya berarti dibuang di sini ya. Oh. Ribet tuh sumpah ini. Dan yang ini ya sebenarnya.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Ini bukan ya, ayah. Nah, mau juga diikat ya buset ya bunuhnya.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
Oh, sailor ya makanya.
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahia's cart, I gather.
Nih. Berapa lagi nih? Dompet.
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Roy.
Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
Tinggal kita urusin sailor. Nah ini. Ah bener. Oke. Selesai. Tinggal ini nih. Sip. Temu juga petunjuknya, iya. Sailor. Oke.
The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident, Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Nah, bisa keluar. Gila lo satu misi doang mikirnya panjang banget ya. Satu chapter, gua gak tau berapa chapter, nanti gua cek. Aduh.
Are you stupid, Mr.
Bacot.
Stop loitering and go and do your job.
Ini. Ah bener. Suruh finish apa ya nih yang kurang? Suruh kita keliling kota dulu. Ini gak ada tahu mau ngapain ini.
Can I ask you a question?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
May I ask you something?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
Misi kira sampai bener-bener menguras banget. Dan ini ada item yang belum keambil, makanya gue bingung. Tunggu tadi. Dari si Roy mungkin. Iya, sebenarnya sih tinggal pindah itu. Cuman gue penasaran, katanya ada sesuatu yang bisa lu ambil dulu gitu. Tapi apa gitu? Oke lah, ini udah aja ya. Kita gas dulu deh. Sampai ada clue yang belum kelar tadi gue lihat, makanya gue bingung. Ya udahlah, main nyantai ini juga gue.
The port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Chapter 1 baru kelar. Apa chapter sih dia? Kapan chapter ya? Oke.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
Do not take
kucing
you for
hitam.
the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps, before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor. After that...
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued?
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling
Agak
to
sus kenapa?
superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or
Untuk
no
para
cat.
pencari
The question
jejak.
remains, why abduct Kimahir?
Iya, kenapa nyuri orang New Zealand gitu, gue bingung juga. Nah, gue liat si Kon dulu, habis itu gue mau rehat. Sherlock can ask a piece of evidence to open Facebook, pindah evidence. Ya Allah, ini ribet banget ya, sumpah. Ya ini sih dipin. Man. Ya sih muter-muter sih ini mainnya. Bagus, cuman complicated.
Do you know anything about this?
I think I can help you.
Muter di doknya. Bang?
Can I ask you a question?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Agak sesuai pelakunya tadi Pelakunya siapa? Si apa sih Holmes? Nggak mungkin penjahatnya dia dong. Partnernya.
Reputable establishment.
I've seen worse. Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier, next to the dockyard.
Third pier, okay. Oh. Di standarnya kenapa digebukin apa? Sempitan, oke. Morning sickness biasa orang hamil ya, with distended. Serius. Tablet gua kurang tahu jenisnya pasti.
Your clothes are already tight and soon they won't fit at all. How far along you?
I thought I'd hidden it better. How did you know? Are you a doctor?
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. I would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
Susah. Okay. Arahnya pintu keluar semua.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the port.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying. What can I get you?
Berarti mana mandi lah kita mainnya nanti. Wah, pintunya beda lagi. Ntar.
Are you able to help me?
I can't help you with this.
Kayaknya mau bisa balik lagi. Lo nggak usah diajak ngomong.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion
Bukan lu yang diajak ngomong.
Can't blame them for staying at home.
Bukan.
Can I ask you a question?
It is a shame I can't answer your question.
Lo yang pasang
Do
poster.
you know anything about this? Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Sherlock dong. Ya, mau di lokasi di mana, Ner? Apa salah saya?
Could you help me?
Of course I know. To cut a long story short.
What's this? Here, okay.
Help me, please.
I can't help you with this.
Di Paris, ngaco. Nah, ini kan orang-orang cuma buat nanya-nanya gitu doang ya, berarti gue skip aja, Bay. Langsung ketemu si Roy. Ini third kan? Roy. Suruh salah, perapatan Ciamis dong. Roy.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you. Can I ask you a question?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
May I ask you something?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Tempat yang meledak berarti ada kebakaran gitu. Iya. Oh
Not
iya.
in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy.
Not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the fourth person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be
Kenapa
found?
gitu sih?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
Now, where was I?
Oke. Ini apa lagi? Aduh. Aduh. Bingung sih, mikir lagi. Ntar. Korot. Oh, korot ya.
What are you on about? Can't help you there, mate. Can't help you there, mate. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there? That boat explosion stopped most traffic coming into the port. Guess I'll be without work for a while.
Oke, terus kita mikir lagi sekarang suruh ngapain? Dia nggak mau ngaku, berarti kita harus cari buat dia ngaku gitu. Logok aja nggak bisa tadi. Nih, kita harus coba lagi nih sekarang. Asda initial port, aduh. Right over house of entrance. Kita ini udah kasih clue suruh sini nih. Red daya. Gue tahu dari mana? Warna merah. Itu.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
Yeah.
Warehouse. Jalan nggak sih gua? Aduh. Ya bukan deh. Anda?
After the incident the other day, it seems customers are staying at home.
Red stain itu apa? Gue masih bingung. Nah, senti sini ya. Ini bukan. Masih terobos saya gitu, nggak tau malu gue. Aduh. Red. Mau kesini lagi ya. Ini ya. Oh iya bener. Let's go. Nah, Anda.
Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet. Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
Do you still have the necklace that Solsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near the, shrine. I tried to sell it to buy Amma medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
How would you describe this Solsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
Don't go anywhere.
I should have helped Amma put out the posters. If she hadn't been in the smoke so long, maybe she wouldn't be sick.
Ada lagi yang berubah nih. Aku harus balik ke itu lagi.
It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy.
tadi bukan Roy. Bukan. Roy itu yang tadi polisi korup itu. Korup ya, pokoknya korup itu lah. Jadi bukan yang nempel poster. Nah, ini gue nyari lagi nih. Gue nggak tahu mau ngapain. Nih Roy di sini nih. Ujung.
What are you gawping at?
I have been told that you hired Dea's son, Girves, right before he vanished. His brother also said you had a metal eye. What do you make of this?
Tell that him to stop making things up.
Nggak guna.
Why people are going missing? Puts a man on edge, you know.
Aduh. Gear face left when personal.
I could do with a pint of the cursed mermaid. With a
So, ngapain ini? Bentar. Ini bolak-balik ini. Masuk sini lagi. Lamba.
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name. A nasty lout with a silver ball in place of a missing
Wow,
eye.
silver ball. Serem banget.
I shudder to ask, but where does one find a Dirty Summers?
He likely signed
Iya,
on with
susah
a ship.
ngakunya.
I am not one to spy on others, let alone him.
I see.
My advice, keep away from him.
Gak boleh deket-deket, padahal diculik. Lagi sekarang. Oh nih. Nah. Dirty Summer. Pasti balik lagi ke sana. Kita balik lagi ketemu. Banget ini. Sini. Keluar dulu. Lagi sama si itu.
What are you gawping at?
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
Panik lu. Tunggu. Ketinggalan lagi. Bentar, yang ketinggalan.
Give me one moment. I shall take my leave.
terus loh ini.
The people here are resilient. Tomorrow it'll all be forgotten.
Atau udah bener tadi kita hajar aja tuh orang. Sepertinya sih. Ya udahlah. Kalau gue bener sih gini jawabannya. Ini nggak pakai contekan ya? Rehat ini chapter lah. Ngantuk
What are you gawping at?
Mr. Sol.
And how do I fit in all this? Sorry, you lost me there.
Mr. Sol.
And how do I fit in all this? Sorry, you lost me there.
Mr.
And how do I fit? Sorry.
Ini ya. Bingung loh bener. Coba ini lagi. Where is-nya? Gas aja bookpack. Baunya sih. Hiring notice. Nah kan, bingung kan, ada yang kurang kan? Anjir. Sama ini. Mana lagi anjir? Ada yang kurang gitu. Oh ya elah.
I miss Gervais. Do you think he's okay?
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
Ya Allah, tipu, sialan juga.
I'm sorry about my English. I try hard, but the rules don't make sense. It's stupid.
Kanan ke. Ada apa lagi yang bisa gua highlight? Apakah gue perlu ke warehouse dulu gitu pertanyaan gue? Repet. Katanya sudah warehouse 12. Berapa? Ada angkanya ya. Aduh. 12, 10. Kapan? Ini. Ke gue sini sih warehouse-nya, cuman nggak tahu sebelah mana. Nggak ada tulisannya gitu warehouse nomornya. Ya ampun, ini belum ada Google Map lagi. Kan 3. Malam Dimas. Tadi kan 2. 5. Nah kayak berantakan banget ya. 1. Jalannya tutup. Salah baca kayak. Sampai jam 6 deh. Kalau jam 6 gak ketemu ya gue rehat dulu nih. Nah, gak bisa. Oke, gue bingung. Jatah 2 jam, gak apa-apa. Ini cuma lagi nyoba-nyoba doang kok. Cara masuknya ya. Ini aduh gila kan banyak yang kelewat, sebel gua. Oh man, tinggalan lagi dong. Game horror enggak? Oh bentar lagi buka puasa. Oke, game mikir, bener-bener mikir. Ini kan ada kertas tuh kata si interact. Oh ini.
Moskva. Sounds like this ship was from the east.
My money is on a loose cigarette or a discarded match. One careless throw and boom.
Katanya ada kertas di sebelah building sini. Kertas apa pertanyaan gua? Ini. Di sini. Mikir simulator, Bisa masuk sini katanya. Nggak bisa.
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down.
Sumpah. Bingung loh. Gini, salah, gua salah. Kita langsung ngadepin si ini dari tadi harusnya.
What are you gawping at?
Kayaknya make. Oh.
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London. He used your name as a cover for his deeds.
What? Really? That doesn't mean I'm involved, though.
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect.
You cannot be serious.
Give me one moment. Mr. A man...
What?
You're... It's true. And that's before mentioning your gold watch. It's brand new and awfully expensive for a customs officer. Clearly you have found yourself another source of income. I'm sure Scotland Yard will be delighted to investigate further.
All right, stop. Look, it's not as it seems. I did not partake in the kidnappings.
I'm all ears, Mr. Soulsby.
Yes, I know Summers. He paid me to turn a blind eye to his business in the warehouse area. Just that, on my word.
You did not tell me which warehouse he used?
I do not recall, but I used red paint to mark unsupervised warehouses. Ought to be one of them.
What else can you say of Summers?
He is a regular at the Cursed
Okay, Dimas,
Goes
thank
there
you,
with his
thank you.
crew almost every evening.
Itu juga mudah
What
kok.
for?
I don't know. I assumed just for a drink.
Ya, di sini udah.
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about Dirty Summers than you're letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir.
Kenapa nggak ada mob? Ah.
I failed to... Are you...
Why do I have the...
I have nothing more... I failed to follow. Are you...
What?
I...
Enough. I have hard evidence that Summers was involved in recent kidnappings across London.
I'm not surprised. So what?
A customs officer, Roy Soulsby, testified that Summers was a regular here. You must know something about his business.
All I know is his drinks order.
Never mind. Why? You know...
All I know is...
If the lives of the missing do not concern you, then I would urge you to think about your unborn child.
Are you threatening me?
Nothing of the sort, but that doesn't mean that there won't be consequences for your silence. Everyone knows you happily served Summers and his crew. Should the police come knocking, you'll be the one going away. And none of us wish to see you raise a child behind bars. Now, spare yourself the trouble and tell me all you know.
Okay. Summers hired my private room. I think he used it to recruit people, but I haven't seen him in a few days. He paid me cash, so I paid him no attention. Nor did I touch anything inside. Here's the key, go and do what you will. Just leave me out of it.
Ya, kunci.
Be careful on the porch, gentlemen. The fog is particularly thick tonight.
Bacot, nggak peduli. Kita ke warehouse. Yang nomor nomor 12 tadi di. Gua nggak hafal lagi. Tadi dia. Nomor berapa? Oh salah, si goblok. Balik lagi. Anda jelas di situ, masih buka pintu ke sebelahnya. Warehouse mulu.
The hairs on the back of my neck stood up.
Oh, Pcie.
Strange symbols. I don't recognize them. $5. That won't go far.
Ini kebuka nggak? Nah, ini gerak lagi ke sini. Ya ampun.
Really, Holmes, this ought to be beneath you. As my brother would say, it is for the greater good.
Oke, sampai sini dulu. Malam ya sih, Harddisk baru datang pas gue udahan. Dan ini baru nanti gue lanjut lagi, nggak tahu pasti kita selesai yang game-game setelahnya. Nanti yang Holmes nanti lanjut lagi ya, nggak tahu. Nanti depan ada satu game baru lagi gue mau coba buat live stream mungkin besok. Tapi yang jelas nanti malam gue usahain R4 kita kelarin. Oke, gue rehat dulu, mau makan dulu, lapar. ya bisa nonton ulang, tenang aja. Oke, aku cabut dulu. Thank you yang udah nonton. Sampai ketemu live stream selanjutnya. Bye bye.